Our human brains are mind-blowing. You have approximately 86 billion neurons in your head. The patterns of activity among these neurons allow us to feel love and awe, to discern the difference between cerulean blue and magenta, to solve math equations, invent vaccines, and imagine what someone else is feeling. But of all the miraculous feats your brain performs, memory is king. You need memory to learn anything. Without it, information and experiences can't be retained. New people would remain strangers. You depend on memory to understand what I'm saying, to know where you live, and to do your job. You need memory to get dressed, play tennis, and drive your car. You use memory from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to sleep. And even then, your memory processes are busy at work. The significant facts and moments of your life strung together create your life's narrative. Memory allows you to have a sense of who you are and who you've been. Scientifically speaking, what even is a memory? How are memories made and retrieved? Memory creation takes place in 4 basic steps. Step 1. Your brain takes in the sights, sounds, smells, information, emotion, and meaning of what you perceived and paid attention to, and translates all of this into patterns of neurological activity. Step 2. Your brain then links all of that previously unrelated activity into a single pattern of associated connections. Your brain weaves all that information together. Step 3. That woven pattern persists in your brain, stored as a neural circuit. Step 4. When this neural circuit is later activated, tomorrow, next month, maybe even 20 years from now, you can then retrieve this woven information. You remember. Let's go back to step 1. Let's say I meet Oprah Winfrey and she says to me, "Lisa, I love your book." The sight of Oprah travels from my eyes to the back of my brain, my occipital lobe, and is processed in my visual cortex. The sound of Oprah's voice is translated into neurological activity in my auditory cortex and my temporal lobes, not far from my ears. Comprehending the meaning of these sounds occurs in a specific location called Wernicke's area. How meeting Oprah made me feel is mediated by the activity of neurons in my brain's limbic system. So, where would my memory of meeting Oprah be stored? Well, unlike vision, hearing, language, emotion, there is no specialized memory center. There is no memory bank. My memory of meeting Oprah would be stored in the connected pattern of activity between the parts of the brain that registered the initial experience. It would be contained in this sight, sound, language, feeling linked neural circuit. Our brains are limitless in their capacity to create linked neural circuits, new memories, at any age. And our brains will never run out of storage space, which is both amazing and reassuring, especially as we grow older. So how do our brains create these linked circuits called memories? The information contained within an experience that is collected and paid attention to by your brain, the sensory perceptions, the emotion, the who, what, where, when, and why, is linked by a part of your brain called the hippocampus. This seahorse-shaped structure, deep in the middle of your brain, repeatedly activates the parts of the brain involved in what is to be remembered until those parts of the brain become a stable, connected pattern of activity, essentially wiring them together to form a new memory. If your hippocampus is damaged, your ability to create new memories will be impaired. Alzheimer's disease begins its rampage in the hippocampus. As a result, the first symptoms of this disease are typically forgetting what happened earlier today and repeating the same story or question over and over. What happens if you don't have a hippocampus at all? A man named Henry Molaison, or HM as he is called in the literature, had the hippocampus and surrounding tissue on both sides of his brain surgically removed in an attempt to cure him of unrelenting seizures. The surgery alleviated Henry's seizures, but he tragically traded one plague for another. For the next 55 years until his death at the age of 82, Henry could no longer consciously remember any new information or experience for more than a few moments. He read the same magazines and watched the same TV shows over and over as if he had never seen them before. He greeted the doctors who studied him as if meeting them for the first time every day. He never recognized them. Without a hippocampus, he could never again create a consciously held long-term memory.